Hey, internet people. Welcome to another episode of Awesome BC Craft Beer, or whatever this show is called. I'm just gonna admit that I'm never gonna come up with a more creative title than that. Anyways, this is a show where I talk about some awesome craft beer in BC and on a journey to learn more about beer tasting and also searching for really good beers is what I'm doing. So today I'm highlighting Steel and Oak. So Steel and Oak is from New Westminister, British Columbia, and if you know anything about the history of BC, it was the first capital of BC. Now the capital of BC is in, doesn't matter. And so that is a very historic area in British Columbia. It's also called Royal City or something. And I believe Steel and Oak is the first brewery to be out of New Westminster, and they've been here for a while, and they're doing pretty good. So good on them. Yeah. Anyways, today I'll be drinking the West Coast ESB. That's right. Extra Special Bitter is what ESB stands for. Special refers to the strength of the beer. This one in particular is 4.6%, which isn't that strong, but it's a British style of beer, and it's a form of pale ale or IPA. And the extra special is this classification that brewers use to determine the strength of each beer. Other type is ordinary, best, extra special, and premium. And the strength of the beer varies between that. What else have we got to say? Like their design, it's quite minimalistic. Here it says citrus, toffee, balanced. Perfect. It's 40% IBU, which is not that bitter particularly. Always filtered, unpasteurized, and made with the finest ingredients. This handcrafted beer should be stored cold and enjoyed fresh. Bottled on May 2017. May 18, 2017. So it is now September. Either way, let's start this thing. Let's do this. There you go. It's a nice brown. That's pure brown. I was gonna say amber, but it's definitely not. It's quite brown. It's quite thick. I can't really make out anything through it. It's got this sort of murky sort of quality to it. The head looks quite nice. I think it's like the first episode where the head didn't overflow on me, so is that an improvement? Who knows? Might just be in control. It is quite citrusy. Not really getting the toffee in particular though, but definitely quite citrusy. It's got a lot of the yeasty, estery tones to it. But yeah, it's quite a lovely looking beer. This is I feel like a classic looking beer. If you're a kid and you're drawing and then coloring beer, I think you would pick this color. Very simple. It's not too aggressive. It's not a whole lot going on. It's just that light scent of citrus. All right, cheers. Yeah. It is quite sweet. It is quite sweet. I think that's where the toffee comes from. Yeah, I hate to sort of reiterate what is on the label. Maybe that is messing me up. I think sometimes when you put the words on the label, it kind of, your brain automatically goes to the taste. Maybe I would taste something different if I was blinded. But who knows? It's got a lot of that toffee, chocolatey, kind of malty flavors to it. At the end, you do get the bitter, the sort of bitter IPA type of thing. The astringency is drying out your mouth kind of feeling. The citrus is very light at the beginning. It does feel like a little bit of a journey. It's like first citrus, then the toffee coffee sweetness that happens in the middle as it fills out your mouth, and at the end there is that bitterness that hangs in there, and it's that sweetness too sort of creates this adhesive in your mouth for the bitterness to lay on top of, and just sort of like a sweetness sort of disappears. It's pretty good. It tastes like, yeah, very refreshing. It's not creamy at all. It's very light, so it just goes down pretty quickly, in fact. It's actually a really good one. I really like this. I didn't know what to expect with when they say extra special. I thought it would be, I guess I thought it would be a little bit more bitter if you have the word bitter in it, but it isn't that bitter at all. If you're sort of new to beer, that could be incredibly misleading. It does have that bitter tang at the end, but in terms of a lot of IPAs I had, it's not as bitter as those one. I think it is correct. It's very nicely balanced. If you want, it tastes a lot like a pale ale. Just a pale ale, maybe a little bit bitter than a usual pale ale. But I would go with this one for sure. Yeah, this is Steel and Oak, West Coast Extra Special Bitters. A very good beer, very good. Definitely in terms of the beers I've tried thus far, if you're following this series, which you should. You click on something here and watch all of them, which would be like some form of torture if you were to do it all at once. So don't binge on that stuff. But this is probably one of my top beers so far. I should do like a ranking at the end of like every 10 episodes or something, like rank which one I think, and then maybe like relegate the bottom five and move the other five. Either way, I'm figuring out this whole thing. But definitely an awesome beer in BC. Steel and Oak, West Coast, Extra Special Bitter. Yeah, awesome. Yeah, if you want to see more of this stuff, subscribe. If not, then good luck with everything you have to do. It was fun knowing you very briefly. It's like meeting someone at a party and you're like, oh yeah, see you again. And then you never see them ever. And then, except for that one time you're at a restaurant and you just like bump into them and you make eye contact and you don't really know the person's name and they don't really know yours, but you just like give that awkward, I'm doing something, and then you just wander away. We're that now, if you don't subscribe, or you know what, do whatever you want. Have a good one.